By night one way, by day another. This shall be the norm. Until you find true love's first kiss, and then take love's true form. And then she stays an ogre. I mean, come on, what a letdown. This scene might have been a bit confusing for those of us in the audience who haven't seen my favorite non-Disney animated movie, Shrek. So let me back things up and give you a 4 or so sentence summary of what it's all about. Spoiler alert. An ogre, Shrek, is sent by a lord who is desperate to become king to rescue Princess Fiona, who's been cursed to become an ogre-like being every night at sunset. On the journey back, they fall in love, Shrek and Fiona. And when Shrek breaks up the wedding and professes his love, they kiss. A kiss which broke the curse and brought to fruition the prophecy with which I began. To Fiona's dismay, she did not remain a beautiful princess, but instead retained her ogre-like appearance. We find out in a heartwarming moment that because her true love is an ogre, she took true love's form. And Shrek brings tears to all of our eyes when he looks at his crying love and he says in his best Scottish accent, "But you are beautiful." I can't do a Scottish accent. I'm sorry. Everyone says "aw," the lights turn on in the theater, and everybody's happy. I can try to downplay the significance of this truly silly story, but in all honesty, Shrek's significance looms in the lives of many of my generation. Shrek reminds us of the important difference between idealized love and true love, and how much we can push ourselves to grow when we know that our love for another is real. You might all be asking yourselves at this moment, Student Rabbi Noah, this is the Yizkor service. All the readings we've done so far out of the Machzor have been sort of sad, and we've been thinking about those in our lives who've touched us deeply that we've lost. Why are you talking about ogres and princesses and true love? I think that today, Yom Kippur, and especially this service of remembrance, is the perfect time to talk about the difference between idealized love and true love. It's all over the place in our Machzor. We sing Adonai, Adonai, and we, right next to each other, we say V'rav Chesed v'emet. Chesed, pure love, emet, truth. Even in the Shema, which we say every time we pray, we begin with Ahava Rabbah, great and enduring love, and we follow it with either in the morning Emet v'yetziv or in the evening Emet v'emunah. Always love and truth, right next to one another. When we remember someone, what is our level of commitment to bringing both chesed and emet, love and truth, to the table? Or one instead of the other? Do we sacrifice truth for warmth? Do we overstate the impact of those black and white moments of poor behavior in someone's life, those characteristics about them we knew were real and didn't care for, and failed to remember the good or the honorable? Do we sacrifice the whole truth for an idealized truth? These are essential questions when one is in the mindset of remembrance. Memory, like idealized love, is a powerful thing. It can often supplant history as the dominant narrative, and can be a unifying force for like-minded individuals. Think about it. If someone says the word Jew and the word Russia, or Jew and Germany, in the same sentence, many of our minds instantly are transported to a world of darkness, despair, death, violence, hatred. This gut reaction happens regardless of the history, regardless of the truth, the emet, that at many points in history, often for extended periods of time, Jews made a decent living in Russia and Germany. Or how about an example which might hit closer to home? Right now, if you mention the word Jew and the UC school system, the memories that flash to the minds of many are those of the news articles they've seen shared on Facebook threads or on Twitter of rampant anti-Semitism and the BDS movement attacking Jews and making the university environment unsafe. But if you talk to Jewish residents of towns like Santa Cruz or Davis or Los Angeles or Merced, I'm sure that for a very, very long time, the UC system was a wonderful place for Jewish students to learn and to grow. It's not even a fair fight. Memory trumps history every time. Unless you were like me, and history class was the one class you woke up for every day in high school, history is boring to most people. Learning what years the Egyptian Empire ruled over a piece of land and who the emperors were in that period and who built the cities for that empire isn't terribly exciting. But the Prince of Egypt, just to keep my DreamWorks animated filmography count on the rise in this sermon, was a box office smash hit. And the imagery and the songs and the acting enthralled Jews and non-Jews, others who share that story, the world over. It was so exciting that Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston duetted on the biggest song in the film. But isn't history important? We couldn't have had the Prince of Egypt the way we had it were it not for the biblicists and historians who did deep analytical study of the Torah story for the creation of the movie. Our dilemma, then, seems pretty clear. Memory versus history. Idealized love versus true love. But is it a competition outright? I don't think so. In these moments where I'm torn between two abstract ideas which I've long been taught are essential for living a good life, I search not for distinction and separation, but harmonization and complementation. While memory is often more attractive, the more attractive option of the two, we know that it could not exist without the history. Even if you decide that every single shred of the story of Moses as outlined in the Torah is a legend or a myth, you cannot escape the fact that there were, undeniably, a group of Jews in the ancient Near East who were ready and willing to believe that their God brought them out of slavery. And that fact underlies everything that the Torah and ultimately Judaism became. Memory doesn't work for a group of people without a degree of history to tie that group to the real, undoctored world. And so it is for idealized love and true love. Truth can be love's versus love's enemy, yes, but it can also be love's greatest ally. It is perhaps the greatest cliche of the dating world. When it comes to relationships, the most important thing is to be honest with each other, to tell the truth. Love based on a lie, even lies of omission like the ones we tell ourselves when we're idealizing those we love, rarely succeeds. More often than not, it leaves the partners hurting and alone. True love is the perfect marriage of knowing someone truly inside and out, and loving them for, or even sometimes despite, all their true colors. When we sacrifice true love for idealized love and tell ourselves those lies of omission, we limit the amount we can learn from those we've loved and lost. If we remove from our memory the qualities which made those we love err during their lives, some of their humanity might be lost as we remember. As Dan Nichols wrote in his lyrical commentary on the Asher Yatzar blessing that we sang this morning, we're perfect the way we are and a little broken too. Loving someone's brokenness together with those aspects which were pristine and admirable about their character is the ikar, the essence of true love. So here we sit, hungry, tired, spiritually and emotionally drained, as we approach the end of our marking the Day of Atonement together. We sit feeling all these feelings and are asked to remember. Remember those who have touched our lives so deeply and meaningfully and left us perhaps all too soon. We're asked to relive feelings of pain, brokenness, loss at a moment in our year when we are maybe at our most vulnerable, physically, mentally, and spiritually. In this moment of vulnerability, we might be tempted to take the easiest route through. Focus just on the chesed, just on the memories. Leave the parts of the truth and the history that make us uncomfortable out of the equation. And maybe that's what we need right now. Maybe that's totally okay. And in order to feel like we've had a meaningful Yizkor experience, we need to focus on the good times, on the happy thoughts. But there's a part of me which is urged to dive deep into those feelings of vulnerability. In remembering my grandfather and my mentor and my rabbi and my best friend and many, many others, search for those memories which revealed to me the true character of those people who touched my life. To find those moments which, whether happy memories or sad, were representative of those people at their most real. To act like Fiona. To chase true love to the ends of my ability, knowing that in the end, the form I take, the person that I am after the experience will be, if nothing else, my truest self. Maybe I'll feel like an ogre for having thought these thoughts. And by the end of a Yom Kippur day where we don't get to eat or bathe, I might even look like an ogre. But if I'm a better ogre by breakfast than I was yesterday because of the memories of those I love, then the Yizkor service will certainly have done its job. We'll join together in light.